Good evening everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going to be doing a Pinterest image that I found that looks absolutely amazing. It looks like a super cozy house and I just really want to make it in The Sims. I'll put it up on the screen now. This is what we'll be making. I think it looks so cute. I like the multiple levels to it and it just looks really nice and all the colours just work so well. So we're going to be making that today. I'm going to do the inside as well. We don't have an image obviously of what the inside looks like, but I'm going to kind of like work it out from the amount of space that we have on the outside. We can slightly see a kitchen as well on the second level, so I'm thinking that the bedroom must be on the ground floor and the kitchen and like sort of dining area, which appears to be slightly outside, should be up there as well, but we'll work it out throughout the video. But stay tuned for that. Let's see what we can do. So obviously the first thing that I'm going to do is do our layout. We have sort of like this it almost looks like a shop on the left hand side of it with like these two big open doors. I think that that's probably where I'm going to put like the living area so that you can kind of open it up. This looks like kind of one of those houses that you would have in a very warm area where you might want to open it up just to get an additional breeze in there on a really hot day. Thinking about door wise, I'm actually half tempted to just put in the door now so that we get an idea of sizing and everything. I feel like this is definitely going to be a tiny build just because of how this image looks at the minute. Realistically, looking at the image, I don't actually think that, well, I think we're gonna have to make it a little bit bigger than it is actually in the image because otherwise I don't think we're gonna fit everything in, but I'll try and keep it as close to it as possible. So looking at the door, it does appear to be pretty much exactly like this actually, so it's pretty accurate because it seems to have this bottom section and then we've got the window pane directly above, so I think this is the perfect sizing for that. We do also go up a level, so we do have some little stairs that just come across here. I'm gonna drag it along a little bit. I think I'm gonna use platforms for that. If I use foundations, I think it'll mess it up and end up looking really strange. Now, I was trying to see if I could find the artist for this. I do believe that this is actually AI. It does kind of suck just because I'm not a massive fan of AI art. I feel like we should be like contributing towards like actual artists. So I think in the future, I am gonna look for like more artists' work. The only issue there is that I would want to reach out and ask for permission to actually use their artwork in a video. But if you guys at all out there actually make artwork and would like me to make it in The Sims, please do let me know in the comments and I'll check it out and I will definitely make it. So I think this section here is either going to be, I'm either going to have to make it the same size as this or it's going to be this size. We appear to have another two doors here. I don't know if it continues on. We've kind of got a wall in the way, but it does kind of look like it actually is just the doors like pressed up against this wall here. I'm going to do our platform as well, and then weirdly the wall actually does continue onto there. So we are going to have it kind of be split a little bit. I'm guessing I'm going to do it there and we can have this whole section be the same height. I'm going to do it on, I mean, it doesn't look like that tall to be honest, so we'll add the platform in first and then we'll work out whether we want to raise the walls afterwards. So this is kind of what we're currently looking at. I'll remove these so that we can put in our stairs. The stairs also kind of look like they only go up to here, and weirdly there's a door there, which that also makes me kind of think that this might be AI, mainly just because that door does look really randomly placed. So I kind of feel like, I mean, to be honest, it could be a cupboard or something, some kind of storage. I'm actually half tempted to add it in as a little bit of storage just to make it look as close to this image as possible. It could actually be something like literally just maybe storage for like gardening supplies or something like that. So I am going to add that door in there. It's kind of useless there. I'm going to add an additional door on this inside because you're not actually going to be able to get to it because of this platform. Then let's go ahead and add in our stairs. They're just like light brown stairs. Everything on this seems to be like very warm toned and light-ish looking. It's not as light as that, but the stairs actually do look lighter than everything else. How light are these? These are quite light. I think we actually do need to go up another one, so I'm going to make it medium height. Otherwise, these rooms are going to be like ridiculously like close to the ceiling, which is not going to look that great. So I think I'm going to do 4 steps. We have 3 on the image, but the steps also do come up to the wall, which I would prefer as well. We'll do some steps on the inside as well that leads us through to this bottom room here. I think this could weirdly be like the bedroom, so you've got second steps that lead up to the bedroom. Or it could be like the kitchen or something like that. Maybe we could do the bedroom in the back, but at the minute we're just doing the outside of the house. Might change those stairs to look a little bit of a nicer colour as well. There you go, that's pretty accurate. I think that looks better. Then for the upstairs of the building, this section does go all the way across, I believe. Yeah, it goes all the way over here, so let's add in that flooring. And then weirdly, it looks like an incredibly open plan kitchen that leads out to a dining area over here. So I think this is actually all just one section. And then weirdly, like this section is all open that leads you through to the kitchen. We could maybe do it as like open doors or something. I'll have a look at that after and we'll see if we can work something out. And we can go ahead and work out our roofing as well. So we do have 2 roofs. From the looks of it, we've got like a quite flat one and then it dips down again. I don't know how I'm going to do that, so I'm going to see if I can work out how to do that style of roof. But obviously at the start, we've just got this one, which is fine, nice and easy. And then let's see if we can work out something for this top weird like extra roof. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it exactly the way that it is in the image, but I'm going to try. So it does come quite far over. I'm just going to use flooring in order to get a better idea of where I'm going to place things. So what I've kind of done is add this section in here, which is basically just a platform. I'm going to see if this works. I've never done this before, so I just want to see if it actually looks okay. I don't even know if we can we put roofs on top of platforms? Not particularly. I don't think that's working. I think it's just placing it on the actual like floor itself. What I was hoping is that it would do it like all the way across, and it doesn't seem to have actually done that. Let's see if there's another thing that I might be able to work out. If we do this here, we can potentially use this platform as a roof. That might work. If we do it like that, that kind of looks accurate. I need to move it back a little bit. This can be slightly longer. I mean, that kind of works, to be fair. We could make this a little bit taller as well. It's just trying to make it look like the image. I mean, it kind of works. I wish that this was more see-through, but I don't think that looks too bad. The issue is trying to make it so that it looks then like this part is all roof. And let's make it a bit smaller. Maybe it's a bit too thick. I mean, it kind of works. I don't think it's perfect, but it's kind of there. We just got to try and see if we can match up the roof to the flooring here. There's way more flooring than there is roofs, so let's go with the roof first. And we've basically got like this kind of pattern. I don't know if we're going to get that same thing in here though. Let's check it by packs. There might be a floor that looks like it. There is. Perfect. Okay, so we have this flooring, which is basically the exact same thing that's over there. I think I can slightly see that it's on an angle though, like this. We also have these ones, which I think these ones are, yeah, those look a little bit nicer. Let's go with that instead. And then we can grab the flooring that looks like the actual roofing that looks the same, which is like that. That actually worked really well. The only thing that I'm concerned about now is that we need this edge part to also match up on the platform itself, which on here it's actually like wood. So if we can find something that's wood, it might work, but the wood's gonna have to be really thin. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. I think we might need like a fence or something going all the way around it though, just because it's a bit thicker on here. Okay, I've used half walls instead, and I think that looks all right. I think we just need to get a trim that is like grey looking. Yeah, that looks okay. I wish it was a little bit lighter though. I think we're gonna have to deal with this kind of grey, but it doesn't look too bad compared to what it currently is. We could make these bits darker to match that though. Have like this kind of darkness. Wait, since when can you add roofs to floors? That seems new. I didn't realize that you could do that. You do that with all of them? No. Weird. I guess it's because you can get it in a flooring anyway. Okay, I think that looks okay. Let's just fill in all of the edges and just make it look a bit closer to what it actually looks like. Okay, I think that's pretty accurate. We do have a rim that goes all the way around it on the second floor as well, so I'm just going to add that in. It's basically just some pillars, and then we've got this like, what is it called again? Spandrels. And we have spandrels that goes all around it as well. There you go. So I've added in our pillars. We do have a fence as well that goes like just over this section here, and then we've got like a skinnier fence that goes across here. So let's see if we can match those up. This one is really similar to this, but I'm not a big fan of the fact that it's darker on the inside. So let's see if there's a different one. We do have this one, which that's also pretty accurate. So I think I'm going to go with that one. We do have a weird range of like this slightly lighter wood and then this slightly like more orange toned wood, which I'm kind of tempted to change, but I don't think there's a lot that we can do to change it. All of the rest of it across here though is just like wood. So I'm tempted to just go with like a half wall instead, and then we can just pick our own wood for it. We want it to be like the same height. That's pretty much the same height, and it looks like it's got this same fencing on the other side as well. We do also have this same like pillars and edge bit on the bottom section down here too. So I want to add that in. So I'm just going to copy the ones that we've put up here. But weirdly, I don't think that's actually going to work because we don't have a pillar here. It just kind of like matches in with it. I don't know if there's any that look good like that. Let's see if we can find something else. They do all seem to have this edge part, which is kind of annoying. An alternative is that we actually just go with the trim instead. It's not going to look as good, but I think it'll work for what we're trying to do. I think this one looks best. We can add it into over here as well because it does seem to loop around. Then I think this is as similar to the other roof shape as we can get. And just to make it a little bit nicer, I'm going to pull it in a little bit as well, just because that does tend to make it look kind of better on these sort of like warmer houses. I think that looks pretty good. Don't know if this is the right kind of like roof, to be honest. Like, I can't fully tell what it looks like on this image. I just know that it's got kind of like this orangey tone to it. I think I'm going to go with this one. I think that looks nice. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, cool. Then we have a little window as well that's here, which hopefully we can get one that matches. Otherwise, we're going to have to create one, and that's going to be really difficult. Okay, there aren't really any that look like it, so I think we're going to have to see if we can make one, but it might look strange depending on how like thick, like how high up this roof is. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit too high. I don't want to make the roof any taller. Let's go back to the window, see if there's anything that works. So this is kind of as close as we're going to get, but obviously we're going to have to match the roof, which isn't going to be very good. So this is kind of where that window is. How does that look? It's not like super accurate, but I don't think there's much else that we can do. There's not enough of these little windows. We could try and match that roof though, because that roof is actually kind of perfect for what we have in the image. I think it's supposed to be this one. Does that look the same? Kinda. It's the same shape, I think. Oh, we've got one that is very orange, but that I definitely don't think that matches. Yeah, I think we're going to have to deal with that one. I think that's kind of as close. We do also have a fireplace just directly behind this little window here. A fireplace, like a chimney. We have a chimney directly behind there, and it's just a very simple white, like, square chimney. So something like this looks pretty accurate. We'll make it a little bit smaller though. Yeah, I think that's about right. Then we can go back to doing the outsides of our house now. So walls wise, it's literally just like this sort of terracotta like white color, which should be quite easy to get. I think this is probably as close to that texture as we're gonna get, and I'm gonna go with this like I think that might actually be a little bit too dark. We could go with this one, but for some reason the color's like way off. I wish it was like slightly creamer. Let's see if there's any other ones that would work. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one, which is actually brick, but it works. It's like the closest color match that I think we can get. Okay, so windows wise, we've got a small window right at the top, and then we've got a window that has those like boards that you can put over the windows, like directly underneath it here. We have a lot of plants to add as well, and I'm going to add all of those after we've done the outside of the house, just because there is a lot of plants in this build. Something that I'm tempted to do is actually stack some of them to get a more accurate like look about them, because we could go with that window which has these perfect like side parts. I don't know if there's any others. Actually, this might work. What does that look like? It would have to be a lot darker. It kind of works though. It actually also fits with the door that we have below it as well. It is very dark though compared to like all of the other bits of this house. This works a little bit better if I can change that door. How does that looks okay. That's actually like pretty accurate. We then have all of these bits on the front of this house. We've got like what looks like a shelf that goes all the way across here. We've got a plant thing directly underneath this door, and then there's a like canopy thing above this main door and above this window. So let's see if we can match all of that. I think this is kind of accurate if I put that there to what's in the image, but the issue is that that's actually like individual plants, and I think it's more like a planter in like the image itself. But the problem is that the planters for all of these ones are a little bit too big to make it look accurate. Like if we added this one, it's way too modern. Some of these just aren't, they don't have the same like green look about them. So I think that one is probably fine. We could also go with this one, but it's got a much darker like planter base to it, and this is just a little bit too light, I think. Let's actually have a look. If I put that one there instead, how does that look? Actually, I think that looks a little bit nicer. We'll go with that one. It doesn't have flowers, I don't think, in that one in the reference image, but it's fine. It looks okay. I think I'm going to go with this for the like little shade awning, just because it's the same color. I don't want to make make it myself, so I want to try and avoid that. On the second one, it does have stripes, so we could go with this stripy one. It's like red. I think this is actually pretty accurate to what it looks like. So yeah, I think we'll go with that one for the downstairs one. It definitely looks like a restaurant. I think it's just because of these stripes, but we're just trying to get it to look as close to the reference image as possible at the minute. So continuing around the corner, we've got another little window over on this side as well, and it is just a really tiny little window. Something like this would probably work. It's actually really light though. It's got the lighter color to it. Why do they all feel the need to have like black frame on the inside? It just makes it not look that great. This one's okay. This one kind of matches. Or we can just go with this one. I actually like that one more. I think it's a little bit nicer color. Okay, then on the outside of the house, again, we've got a door over on this side, and it's kind of a like, it's slightly lighter than this door down here. I think we're going with like lighter tones on this side of the house and then like darker bits on the other. I think this door is actually perfect though, because it's got the panes on the inside and it's got a space at the bottom too. Then it's got like a wooden panel here, which I'm assuming it's meant to have like a window behind it. We could actually make this one even bigger and use it here too, but I don't think that looks as good as what is probably down there, which is a door. Can we get like a light door down here? It's not gonna go all the way to the bottom because we have this platform here. I think we're just gonna have to deal. We'll put that down, we'll put some plants in front of it, and hopefully it will hide that it doesn't reach further down. We still need to do our front door as well. Well, front door, side door, I'm not too sure. It literally looks the same as this one though, so we can probably just put that same door there, although it is lighter, so we'll go with the lighter tone for that. Then obviously we have this weird shelf part that comes off over here. I'm thinking about just having a look at shelves and we can see if that's gonna work. I think it could work. It lines up with this section here, so if we do two of those, then we can grab these little edges and just add those in. Yeah, I think that kind of works. Looks about right. Then on there is just some random bits of like plants and things. I'm going to leave all the plants for the same time because otherwise it's going to take forever. Now that we've added those bits, I've added these little lights in. Let's see if we can work out this top part that has like this open kitchen. So there's two ways I can do it. I can either do it where it is open, which doesn't look amazing, or we can do it where it's got like these things where you can then close them if you would like to. I feel like that does kind of work. I wish that we had more variety for that kind of style. We do have these, but they're big open windows instead. So I'm going to go with these because they're the same color. And then that does kind of work, to be fair. I think that that looks pretty good. That then lets us completely open it up to the dining area outside. Then outside, we just have a cute little like dining table and chairs just literally here. And then obviously we've got loads of plants. So I'm going to do the dining table and chairs, and then we can move on to doing all of the plants. Obviously we can add additional windows in as well around here, which we are definitely going to need to do because at the minute there's only windows on this like quarter of the house. So we've got our dining table and chairs. I did go with like the slightly lighter color. I think they actually more similarly match to this, but I don't think we can get that same kind of like brown tone. Now let's do the grueling job of going through and adding in all of the plants. I will skip that part for you guys because otherwise it will be incredibly boring and probably increase the length of this video by like half an hour. Okay, there we go. I think that's about right. I've added all of the plants all around the edge here. We've got a couple at the front here because there's not that many. We've got a few going up the steps. I've added some plants and a broken pot to our little like shelf over here. And then obviously we've added all of the plants across this one edge here, and I've added a couple up here as well. So now we can probably move on to just doing the outside like flooring and things, and then we can move on to the inside. So from the looks of it, this outside section is all tile, and it's basically like sort of a little bit like run down, probably not been replaced for a little bit, so it's kind of like chipped and things. So let's see if we can find something like that. This kind of works if we can get this in a lighter color. I don't know if we can get it in like a lighter cream though. It might only be white. Yeah, it's only white. I don't think it works super great for it. This one's kind of the one I was originally thinking, but it is quite big tiles. Yeah, this one's pretty much perfect, so I'm going to go with this. Then I'm just going to run it all the way around. I do kind of want to add something to this back garden section as well, so what I think I'm going to do is add some planters, because this person clearly really likes plants. And then obviously we want to add some trees and things as well. So I'm going to add this little like fan thing as well, just because I think this tends to work quite well in these sort of more like warmer climate kind of houses. I've added these two little planters, we've added a bike, I've got a birdhouse, and then we do also have a little seat and a side table as well. So I think that looks pretty good. Let's move on now to our like flooring and things, just because I want to add in a bit of dirt to make it feel like it's a bit more like realistic. We tend to have dirt around objects that are just like sitting there. I'm going to add some around this tree and this bike as well. A little bit under the birdhouse around this tree. And then we have added flooring around all of this. So I'm going to add a very small amount all around this tile. And I'm going to add a little bit as well that leads from there so that it looks like this person goes here often to actually grow all of their plants and stuff. There we go. So that's the outside of the house done. We can now move on to the inside. So this is the bit that's going to be really tricky because this inside of this house is absolutely tiny. And obviously we have this section as well that needs to have some stairs leading up to it. And obviously we need an actual staircase somewhere too. We need to work out where everything's going to go, including like a bathroom and obviously our living and like dining area. Half of me is tempted to put the stairs here, which then will lead us up and maybe come out around here. But I don't think that's going to work. I think the stairs are going to have to be over here. So looking upstairs, where would the stairs actually be best being? Probably like over on this side. I'm also just trying to think about where we're going to have the bedroom. That's also a part of the problem. It's just such a tiny house. So I'm thinking, let's start upstairs. I think the bathroom could be here. It's a bit of a squeeze and you've got to squeeze around in order to get to the door that leads you outside, which is kind of useless because you've got these big doors here, but you know, it's fine. But I think we might just have to deal. But if we go to here, make this the same height as this flooring over here, we could then just put the stairs on this back wall, which I think kind of hides it the best. I really just want to avoid doing like the idea of just putting a ladder or something just to save space. Then we can put a wall going all the way across there. I'm then tempted to just add a wall here, and then we could have some stairs going down here, but I also don't want to waste the space on getting down there. So let's do it like this, so we've got stairs next to each other. I don't think that's too bad. Then this is where I was thinking about having the bedroom. It will be very tight, and it's kind of weirdly feels like it's in a corridor, so I could mix it up and put something else there instead. Obviously the kitchen, I think, is up here in the like reference picture, but to be honest, it's so dark in the picture that I actually can't tell. So what I think I'm going to do is we'll do this as the bathroom, and then this can be the bedroom, which kind of does make more sense anyway. I'm going to split this off because I'm not a big fan of this really jarring angle. I think that should be fine. Then what I'm thinking is that this can be our living area, and then this can be our kitchen. Let's see how much space we actually have. So we do have 4 going all the way across here, which is a good is the minimum amount that you need in order to have a functioning kitchen. I think that's fine. Let's see if we can work it out. Let's start by putting some lights in. So I'm going to go with warm lights because this is definitely a place that feels like it would be very warm, just based off of everything that we've already added in. All of these plants and everything definitely feels like it's a warmer climate. So now that we've got our lights in, I've just gone with this one for the bedroom because it feels a bit cozier. We've gone with white lights in the kitchen and the bathroom, and then we've gone with a warmer light in what is going to be our living area. For our walls, I am tempted just to take the wall from the outside, so I think that's going to give kind of a warmer lighting to the whole thing, just because it's like this slightly yellowy creamy colour. I might change it for the bathroom though. We can have it for the rest. Then for our flooring in here, I'm thinking of doing actually just the same. It's not like cozy. Maybe not. Maybe wood. I feel like wood would probably be a really good choice. I think that's about right. We might need to change the stairs to just like a slightly darker wood colour so that it matches this flooring. For the bathroom, I'm going to go with this orange colour. Actually, I really like that. I might do that in the kitchen as well. Yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Then let's choose a slightly darker wood tone for the stairs. Does that work? Yeah, that works better. Okay, looking good so far. We do have this little like storagey bit as well, which I'm just gonna add. We'll add like a little, maybe like a light bulb. Actually, a light bulb would be perfect for it. Something like this. And then we can just add in some really simple like gardening tools or something. Gonna put like some cleaning supplies in there as well. Here we go. So we'll have gardening supplies plus some cleaning supplies, and then I'm also going to put their bin out there. There you go. I think that's a cute little area, and it's actually functional. Normally I was thinking it wouldn't be that functional, but having the bin there then makes it actually like a usable space. Okay, then for our kitchen, let's have a look at what we've got. Actually, I was considering these. This makes it a little bit cozier though. I might go with the ones from the cottage set. Actually, I think it looks a little bit nicer, and I do like the green ones. I think they're definitely my favorite. So we don't have a mad amount of space, so we are just going to have to go with that counter there. We'll go with the sink sink that matches, and then we can add in our oven and our fridge. Because of all of the spacing, I did want the oven to be here where it was directly like below this exhaust thing, but we're gonna have to put the fridge there. I think it might actually be better if we move it. I'm gonna put it like here instead, just because I think it'll get in the way of the fridge otherwise. There we go. So there's our tiny kitchen. We do have a little bit of wall space as well around here, so I might add some additional bits in there. I've added these little bits in here as well to our entrance way to the next room. I could also actually add another one here. I don't know if it's actually going to allow me though. Nah, it's letting me do that, but I think it's fine to that way, just so that we don't just have a random hole in the wall. I think it looks a little bit nicer. Then we do have some space over here, which I might add some additional kitchen bits. We don't have a mad amount of space on that wall, but I think we could probably work something out. Let's go with a small bin. I'm going to go with a plant as well, but I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I think if we move the bin over, we could put a plant there. I think that's kind of cute. Just makes it look a little bit nicer, and then there's definitely a lot of kitchen wall decorations we can add into. Like this one that's just got like a bunch of pots and pans on it. That looks pretty good. It definitely made the room look a little bit nicer. We do have this space up here as well, like above all of these bits, that I might add some stuff to. I think I'm just going to go with these like dried herbs. I think that's pretty good for our kitchen. I don't want to keep adding more because it's such a small space. It's going to end up feeling really crowded. But for this next room, we've got all of this space and we've got super high walls, so we can try and do something really good with this bit. Let's start with our sofa, I think. So we do have this section over here, or here. I'm thinking we can put the sofa like here and then put a TV here. We also have enough space for a dining table as well. This is one of my favorite sofas just because it looks super cozy with the little blanket on it. So I'm going to go with this one, and we'll add it here. I'm going to put it on a little bit of a wonk just because I think it makes it feel a bit more realistic. Probably want to make it a bit less wonky, actually. It just looks a little bit odd. There you go, that's about right. And then we can add our TV to this side. I have no idea what's going on with this glitch in this wall right now because it's really dark, but we will continue on. So I'm going to add a TV cabinet. I really like this one. If we can get it in maybe the same brown as like the door. Yeah, that works pretty well. Then for our TV, to make the whole thing cheaper, I'm just going to go with this one, and we're gonna actually, we could just go with that and then add maybe like some plants and stuff around it. I'm tempted to also add a window here just because we don't have anything there at the minute and it could do with some extra natural lighting. I would prefer a bigger window, so maybe go with this one. Yeah, I think that's definitely adding to this build. I might add some curtains on there though. I think those ones look pretty nice in here. Then definitely need a rug to make it feel more comfortable. Then I think we need a lot of plants around here. We could do with like a little side lamp as well, actually. I don't normally do like these much higher walls just because they do look like way too high and they end up being like really difficult to decorate. So I'm hoping that we can sort of work out a way to decorate this so that it doesn't feel as high as it currently is. I guess you could just add like a lot of pictures or something to it. Or I guess like a big picture like this. This actually works really well with this room, and just add a little plant there. That looks pretty cute. I like that actually. We do have a lot of space behind this sofa as well though that I kind of also need to add something to that too. Maybe a grouping of pictures rather than like one big picture like we've done above the TV. There you go, something like that actually works quite well. Yeah, I like that. Cool. Okay, let's move over to this bit where we're just going to do a small dining table in this corner. We obviously have our table upstairs as well, so there is actually like 2 dining tables. I'm thinking about just going with the same one though, just because I think it does look quite nice. I think you could probably fit like 2 Sims in this house, but I think if you went any more, then it'd be a bit... This can be a 3-person table, so what I'm going to do is actually just add a second chair here, like they've had some people over and they've used this second chair just to like have extra people sitting around the TV. Another trick that I kind of want to add as well is having a stool somewhere. I might put a stool here and then we can put something on top of it so that it looks like it's being used, but like not used to sit on, mainly just used as like storage. So I'm going to use this stool. I think I'm just going to put some more plants around it, to be honest. I think we need way more plants inside like we have outside. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. I need to move this in a bit, I think, though. Yeah, that looks good. We do have some space on this wall as well, and I do want to put a little flower or something on the table just to make it look pretty. Yeah, that looks nice. Then we do have this wall space, which I'm not too sure what I'm actually going to put there. I don't really want to be adding more pictures. We've got so many pictures in this house already, and like in this one room. I think I'm actually going to go with this instead, just to mix it up a bit. I think if we put that there, pull this out a little bit, that looks about right. Yeah, okay, cool. So I think that's our living / dining area done. We can then move upstairs to our bedroom area. So for this one, we do have the perfect amount of space to be able to put a door that leads us through to here, and obviously put our big double bed in the middle. So I'm going to put the door here, I think, and then we can put everything else around here. We can put I'm thinking just a little shower there, and then we have enough space for our other bits there too. So let's grab a shower. I'm going to put it in this little alcove. How does does this one look? Because this one's got like tiles. Yeah, that actually kind of works. I like that. Then on the other side, I think I'm going to use this because this is actually kind of like rustic and quite nice looking. And then we can add in our toilet, which I'm going to go with this one. I've added some towels directly above the toilet as well, and I think that looks pretty good for a bathroom. I don't think there's a massive amount else that we actually need in there. So we can move over to our bedroom now, where again, it's quite a tight space. We don't really have a lot of space to add much more than just a bed in. I'm a massive fan of this bed, and with the sort of colors that it's got, it works, I think, quite well. We do also need a closet, which we don't really have the space for, so I might just use it as like a side table. The only thing I can think is that we could add it at the end of the bed, but then I think you're going to struggle to get to the bathroom. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use this, and I'm going to make it slightly smaller. It still should be usable to the sim. I'm going to add it there, and then we can put some things on top. Thinking we go with a small lamp, and then probably a plant, if I can find a small plant. There you go, that's kind of cute. I'm going to add another rug as well underneath the bed, just because it looks a little bit uncomfortable at the minute. I'd like it to be more cozy. I think this one is perfect for this. Yeah, that looks nice. Then finally, I do want to add a picture behind the bed here. You can just go with something simple for it. Thinking this one is quite nice. Go with a slightly darker frame though. Okay, I think that's finished then. It looks really cool. I actually really like how this came out. I think it's definitely a tiny or like small build. It does not have a massive amount of surface space, and obviously if you wanted to increase it to more bedrooms, it would be quite difficult. So this is definitely just a one bed, but I actually really like all the different levels to it. I like the stairs that lead you down into the living area, and I like that we have this massive balcony right next to the bedroom. But let me know your thoughts on this build in the comments below. How accurate do you think I got to the original design? This is on the gallery under HextraHunt, so feel free to download it. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. I post long content like this every Wednesday and Friday around 6 PM, and I try to post shorts the rest of the week. If you enjoyed this video, on the screen now is another recommended video, so please do check that one out too, and I hope you all have a great evening.